Hi everyone, welcome to this student feedback video about the Web Developer Bootcamp. It's an online web development course that's supposed to take you from the zero level, no experience in web development at all, to the junior full stack developer level. If you're watching this, you're probably wondering if it's worth it to take a development course, an online bootcamp, or you might be struggling in the choice of the course that you want to take. Should I choose this technical stack or this instructor or this platform? I've been taking this course for the past months, and now that it's over, I'm very glad to share my experience and maybe give you some useful insights, such as how long does it take, what effort does it require every day, how does it feel to take this Web Developer Bootcamp. This is Yelp Camp, a screenshot of Yelp Camp, the app that you might be building in the end of the course, that you use to learn in the course to learn how to implement a sign up, a login, how to create an object in a database, and then display these objects on a nice looking grid like that, and to search things. So it's very comprehensive, and that's why it's called a bootcamp. It's because it brings you from the zero level to manipulating all these little items that brought together make a website alive. So I was struggling 6 months ago choosing the right course, the right instructor, the right platform, the right technical stack. It was not easy at all. I hope this video can offer clear data and feedback to whoever thinks about taking a beginner's online web dev course. Why go with Colt Steele's Web Developer Bootcamp? First question I want you to address here. Then I make a quick demo of the type of website that you can build afterwards. How long does it take, and other tips and data around this course, and then what you can do after taking this course. So why go with Colt Steele's Web Developer Bootcamp? Actually, the first argument stands for Udemy. It's the e-learning platform that you will use every day. You can find pretty much everything on this platform, like development courses, design courses, lifestyle courses. Apparently you can learn how to walk a dog here. So you have pretty much everything, and the features themselves of this platform are very great. This is the main screen that you will face every day if you work every day, and you have a video. You always have a video of your instructor either speaking like that, either sharing his screen and showing tools and the code that is writing, and you just have to follow along. Sometimes you have to write on your own on the tools that you've downloaded. And on the right, you have this course content, the curriculum here. So you can follow your progression by checking and unchecking where you are. You can download resources, access extra slides, and so very well constructed. I really like as well this Q&A section. On this course specifically, you have 67,000 questions that have been asked by the students. It's huge, and hold on, every single one of those questions are answered, as you can see here. So they all get an answer. The first one here are not, because they're pretty recent. But if you have a question one day, just ask here. You will get an answer by the teaching assistants of Colt. So yeah, Udemy in the first place. Secondly, I'd say you can trust the data that you can find here on the Web Developer Bootcamp presentation page. They have almost 200,000 ratings here and a 4.6 average rate. It's a very, I don't know if there is another course on Udemy that has such an amount of ratings and such a high rating. 500, almost 600,000 students enrolled. It's more than some countries here, so it's huge, and you can trust this data. Plus, you can trust Colt Steele's here, Colt Steele's history. He's been developer and an instructor, lead instructor and curriculum director in San Francisco in a physical environment with real students, and so he has not improvised anything with this course. He's a professional instructor, and you can feel that. Like, okay, this cat is a bit scary here, but all along he is very smooth. He takes you, he goes along with you. It feels like he knows what you're thinking when he delivers the knowledge. Very well constructed and a very good instructor. Finally, I'd say that you can trust this course content. Let's give it a quick overview. You have an introduction section here from, I'd say, introduction to Bootstrap here. So HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, which is a CSS library. At the end of this section, you know how to structure your website as a static website and give it a nice looking style. Then you learn how to manipulate JavaScript, which is very useful to store some data and to make those kind of animations. You see, when I click here, you have this box expanding just below. This is made with JavaScript. So very interesting interactions. Then you end JavaScript around here, and then you go into the backend. And this is why the course is very interesting and light and easy to finish, is because the backend itself is made with Node.js, Node JavaScript. So the whole language that you learn here, you will reuse it in this section for the backend to process the data in the database within your routes. It's very useful to have this same language here and there. And the end of the course focuses on the database, on authentications, and different tools that enables you to improve the UI with a map, with a payment module, with a review system. It's very cool, and the end is with a GitHub and deploying on your own server, Heroku server. So that I'd say that you can trust Udemy, you can trust the reviews, trust the course description, and Colt's pedagogy. He's a professional, and you also can trust the dev community itself as a whole, the dev community, and as well the dev community of this course. They have a dedicated Facebook group. They have a dedicated Discord, a Slack group, I think, as well. Let's take a quick tour of Yelp Camp so that you can see some features that you will be able to build afterwards. So first, let's log in. No, let's just before have a look at what happens if you're not logged in. So let's have a look at this camp here, which is Seignos, a city in France. Like, okay, this is not real pictures of Seignos, and not a real map as well. So you have pictures, a description, a map. You also have reviews here from Ricky Fattar. If I want to add a review, for example, I'm asked to log in. If I want to add a new camp, here I'm asked to be logged in as well. So very important, if you're not logged in, you have authorizations, an authorization system that prevents you to do something. So let's log in with a random demo user. That's all right, I'm logged in here. And let's go to Saint-Malo, for example. And as you can see here, the demo user has already given some feedback about this camp, and I can edit or delete these specific reviews because they're mine. It was cool. Okay. change the rating, put a 4, and boom, it's changed. But I cannot touch George Harrison's review here because it's not mine. And same thing for the camps. If I create a camp, I can edit it or delete it, but I cannot do that if it's not mine. So let's log out, and you can also make a quick search. If I type sans, you only have the matching results that pops here. And that's pretty much it. You can log in, add information in the database, and edit it if you have the rights to do that. Before taking the course, I had very basic knowledge in HTML, CSS, even lighter knowledge in SQL databases, and a little bit more in web in general, how a website works. And what was important to me in the beginning was this really smooth start with a light development environment. I think you just have to download 1 or 2 things, but you don't have thousands of tools to plug in. I really had a bad experience with that, with a previous course before this one. It was not fun at all. So it was very important to me to have a smooth start. And even after that, when it gets more complicated, you will use GURM IDE to develop your website. So it's an environment. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. And what GURM does is that this sets you up a container, and in this container you basically have all the tools that you will need to develop your own website. You will manipulate your files here, you will write your code here, and interact with your different instances with the terminal here. So everything is integrated in the same place. It was really important to me. I'm pretty sure you will like it as well as a beginner. Here is a list of the features that you will learn to implement during the course. So you will learn to plug a MongoDB, a Mongo database with Mongoose and manipulate it with Mongoose. It's no SQL database. Authentication with passport, authorizations, as I was saying just before. Success and error messages with Flash, maps with Google Maps API. Search, reviews. I struggled a little bit with the Stripe course. I must have been tired of it. But you can implement a payment system, and finally you will deploy it on your own server, Heroku server. How long did it take? I've been tracking my time all over the thing, and from the 31st January to the June 14th. And so let's have a focus on this column here. And in total, to complete the 402 units, it took me 132 days for 253 hours of work. So it makes something like 2 hours per day. But I'm not really sure I was working 7 days per week. So I've broken down here this ratio. I must have been here in between those two. If you plan to study between 5 and 6 days per week, you might give an effort of 2.2 or 2.7 hours of work per day, which is already intense because it's very fresh knowledge, very new things, unusual skills. It's kind of intense, brain intense. If you want to go lower than that, to 4 days per week, it might be doable. Less than that, if you have a working life, besides, if it's not your main activity, it might be hard to follow the rhythm, to maintain the pace. And I'd say around 100 days in total to complete the training. Some other tips, maybe, I strongly recommend that you track your time from the first minute that you take the course. You can use this tool named Toggle. Looks like that, and it enables you to create reports on a weekly basis or monthly basis. And I think it's just a good idea to track your time because it enables you to adjust your effort depending on the effort that you've put the week before. You definitely want to set up a personal extra project as well. I didn't put mine in motion in the first place, and I did for the second half of the course. It's very useful to have a serious and real project to groom the skills that you've just learned, to practice a little bit more than just on the practice exercises that Colt gives you. So set up a personal extra project if you have one. You also want to take notes. Today, as a developer on my personal projects, I still use some notes that I've taken during the first week the first week of the backend section, for sure. So take notes, I still use them today. And I use Notion to do that. If you don't do, I strongly recommend you discover this tool. It's literally a brain extension. The brain extension. And you can also easily get feedback on your work. I think that it's part of the developer work to get feedback from on the features that you've built. And you have a community, as I said, that will be very glad to give you some hints and tips on what you've done, some feedback. Do they understand your work? Do they understand the code that you've written? And you just have to post a screenshot of your website and your code on the Facebook group, for example, and you'll get probably 10 or 15 answers in the day on what you've done. Just to warn you, hold on at the end. There is an unexpected long section which is called UI improvements, and it's actually worth almost 30 units, 30 extra units on its own. It's because they have compiled all those courses in just one single thing. So hold on at the end, be strong. And more, there is a change of instructor. It's not Colt anymore. It's another one that I have found a little bit less efficient but still like amazing instructor as well. But it's not Colt anymore. Colt has kind of his own thing, right? No front-end framework. Yeah, if you want to meet some employers' requirements with this training, be sure that they don't expect you to master a front-end framework in the end of this web development course, because there's no React, no Vue, JS, only what they call vanilla JavaScript and CSS. 2015, you might be discouraged at a point by the fact that this course has been built in 2015 and that some tools that are mentioned or used are outdated. But first, the instructors go along with you with that give you instructions on how to replace a tool with another. And I recommend to hold on because it's part of the work of developer, I guess, on a daily basis to update your tools and your versions, to replace a tool with another when it doesn't meet your requirement. So that's pretty much it. After taking the course, some of us take more advanced courses on the same knowledge. I really think about taking another course on JavaScript and the DOM manipulation because I think I have already forgotten the main stuff. Maybe on CSS as well. You can also learn new techs, such as like this famous front-end framework, and maybe an extra back-end language. You also can get a job as a junior full-stack web developer or as a freelance. If I were you, I would just be careful with the size of the job. Maybe don't take something on a full-time basis in the beginning or with too much commitment. Maybe groom or practice a little bit more before getting this job. But you can like some of us do. As I can, I've seen some posts on the Facebook groups on the Facebook group of people looking for a job just after and getting a job just after the training. You can also work on your own projects. That's what I'm doing. And if you already work in an IT environment, you will sure enjoy a deeper understanding of with your teammates on the work that you're doing together. Since I've finished this training a few weeks ago, I've been working on 2 different projects, and I would be very grateful to get your feedback on these projects. And plus, we might be recruiting in the coming months. So if you like those projects and want to, if you take the web development course and then want to find a cool job in a cool team on a cool project, just raise your hand. The first one is called FestView. It's an online music encyclopedia. It's like Wikipedia, but only for music. For example, if on the web you're looking for information around Pink Floyd, for example, you'll end up on hopefully you will end up one day on the Pink Floyd page, which is a little bit more entertaining than just the Wikipedia page. You have the same information but displayed in another way. The similar groups, you have the incoming concerts, the whole discography, the members of the group, some videos, social networks of the group. And you have this contributing social aspects, so you can see who are the users that have contributed to this Pink Floyd page. And hold on, the funnier part is that each contributor earns points when they contribute, each time they contribute, and with these points they can win rewards. So, for example, so it's in French right now, but we will be working on English version very soon. You can get, for example, an hour with a vocal coach for 17,000 points. Must contribute a little bit more here. From now we have 1,000 artists on the platform, and we'd be very glad to welcome you as a user and as a colleague. I'm not the developer on this one, but I'd be very glad to get your feedback. I'm the product manager here, and it's also very useful to follow along this Web Developer Bootcamp if you are a product owner or a product manager. It gives you really good insights to better communicate with your developer team. Big up to you, Steven, for this work, and this is the one to reward if you find this job cool. The other project is called Wookie Home. It's like Airbnb, but for professional teammates. Let's say that you work in the city, in an office, and you want to meet with your colleagues somewhere else, just because it's more convenient, or because you want to take a fresh breath, or you want to brainstorm in an original place. You will go to Wookie Home. So this is a prototype. This is not a real front end and back end. But you would go to on Wookie Home and find a very cool place to work into. Let's say, for example, this Bali-style living room, and you will book the place for 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours. Is it for celebrate, lunch, negotiate? Something went with the map here. And you book the place, if you like it, to work there with your colleagues. And on this project, I'm the developer, and I will be soon looking for a teammate to work with me on this project. So raise your hand if you want to either to give feedback, just simple feedback, or to work with us. You can reach out on LinkedIn, Tristan Bochu, on Instagram, or also just maybe follow my blog here on micro-scope.me. Thank you very much having followed this video until the end. I hope this gives you It's all the information that you need to make the right choice, and that it has motivated you to take the plunge and take a web development course online with Colt or with another instructor. I hope you have a good time during this course, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.